Welcome to Learner Autonomy. While passive learning is a widely used educational approach, it may carry more risks than previously thought. When we are passive learners, simply absorbing information through listening to lectures or reading textbooks without actively assimilating and processing the information, we are depriving ourselves of opportunities to deeply understand and internalize the subject matter. As a consequence, this can negatively affect our academic performance and prevent us from developing critical thinking skills that are essential for success. Passive learning not only poses risks within the academic setting, but also in our day-to-day lives. Given the rapid pace at which the world is evolving, it is imperative for us to consistently learn and respond to novel circumstances. By relying solely on passive learning, we run the risk of becoming stagnant and ill-equipped to handle the rigors of our professional and personal demands. Thus, it is high time we evaluate our learning methodologies and strive towards adopting positive changes to promote our continued growth and development. What is passive learning? Passive learning is a relatively popular educational approach which emphasizes the dissemination of knowledge to the learner without an active involvement in the process. The methods of passive learning are diverse, including listening to lectures, reading texts, and watching instructional videos, and require minimal to no interaction or participation from the learners. This model has its advantages and disadvantages, and has been used in various fields such as higher education, corporate training, and personal development. Passive learning activities are those that involve receiving information without actively processing it, such as reading textbooks, attending lectures, and watching educational videos. Although these activities can be helpful in gaining knowledge, they may not always encourage active engagement or stimulate critical thinking among learners. Why is passive learning dangerous? While many people might consider passive learning as an uncomplicated method to gather information, it is imperative to note that it bears significant consequences. The act of consuming information passively involves minimal processing and engagement on our part. This often creates a diluted sense of understanding, limiting our ability to absorb information effectively and store it in our memory for extensive periods of time. In addition to the aforementioned drawbacks, it is important to note that passive learning may result in individuals becoming reliant on external entities as their sole source of knowledge. This potentially hinders one's ability to think critically and solve problems without external aid. By actively engaging in the learning process, we empower ourselves to take charge of our own education and cultivate key skills imperative for triumph in an ever-evolving global landscape. Passive learning versus active learning. Passive learning, which is commonly regarded as the conventional approach to education, entails students attending lectures or reading textbooks without actively participating in the learning process. Conversely, active learning aims to engage students actively in the learning process by encouraging them to ask questions, tackle problems, and contribute to discussions, enhancing their knowledge acquisition. Passive learning, while useful in gaining knowledge, is not without its drawbacks. This methodology often lacks in its ability to cultivate critical thinking, which is a necessary skill in almost any field of study. In addition, this approach to learning can lead to reduced motivation and engagement. Conversely, active learning has been proven to be a superior method to retain information and improve problem-solving skills. It also has the benefit of increasing student engagement and motivation by keeping students actively involved in the learning process. The benefits of active learning. Active learning involves engaging learners to participate in the learning process, which helps in better retention and improved understanding of the material. When actively engaged in the learning process, students are able to establish connections between the new information and their existing knowledge, which in turn makes it simpler for them to recall and apply the gained knowledge and skills in various contexts. Moreover, the utilization of active learning approach not only promotes critical thinking and problem-solving abilities but also aids in enhancing the chances of succeeding in academic and professional fronts. When students tackle complex problems independently, they gain comprehensive knowledge of the subject matter, which eventually prepares them for real-life scenarios. Thus, active learning fosters a holistic learning experience. Examples of active learning activities. A distinguished method of active learning consists of group discussions, which offer students the opportunity to interact with their classmates and exchange their insights. Thereby, they can assimilate knowledge from their peers and solidify their own understanding of the subject matter. Additionally, problem-based learning is a valuable technique that requires students to tackle actual problems and work collectively to devise solutions. This promotes the cultivation of critical thinking and problem-solving skills, which are indispensable competencies for different areas of study and future careers. To optimize your learning and boost your information recall, it's beneficial to include active learning practices in your individual study sessions. A couple of techniques that can be integrated into your study routine are self-quizzing and summarizing information in your own words. Both methods aid in strengthening your grasp of the material and enhance your ability to retain and retrieve information in the future. How to incorporate active learning into your routine. If you're looking to integrate active learning into your daily routine, it may seem like a formidable task at first glance. However, the good news is that getting started is easier than you think. Begin by setting aside a small amount of time every day to engage in active learning activities, such as reading an intriguing book or honing a new skill that you've been meaning to learn. By establishing a fixed time slot for these activities, you'll be able to consistently incorporate them into your daily schedule and gradually build up your learning momentum. To further enhance the active learning experience, you may consider making it a collaborative effort with others. A fruitful approach could entail seeking out a study group or fitness partner to hold you accountable and reinforce your drive. It's important to bear in mind the significance of engaging in activities that invigorate you and positively stimulate your intellect. The role of technology in active learning. The impact of technology on education has been remarkable, especially in the realm of active learning. With the integration of technology-based tools, learners now have the opportunity to interact with the course content in ways that are both innovative and captivating. For example, online discussion forums facilitate collaborative learning and enable students to sharpen their critical thinking skills. Additionally, the use of gamification techniques has revolutionized the learning experience, making it more enjoyable and engaging. A noteworthy instance of technology-enhanced active learning can be observed in the form of virtual reality simulations. In this type of learning, students are presented with an opportunity to get a first-hand experience of real-world scenarios, under the supervision of their instructors. They are empowered to immerse themselves in a safe and controlled environment, thus allowing them to learn more effectively. This form of immersive learning, due to its ability to provide practical training, is highly advantageous in fields like medicine and engineering, where skill development is indispensable. Overcoming barriers to active learning. A widely known obstacle that hinders active learning is the feeling of insecurity that often stems from being afraid of failure. A great many individuals are reluctant to engage in novel experiences or take chances because they dread the prospect of making mistakes. Still, it's crucial to keep in mind that not only is making mistakes an intrinsic aspect of the learning process, but it can also serve as a catalyst for improvement. One method to overcome this trepidation is to divide tasks into bite-sized, attainable segments and revel in advancements made throughout the journey. One common challenge that hinders active learning is the limited and scarce amount of time available. Due to this predicament, individuals oftentimes perceive engaging in active learning activities as impractical and time-consuming. Nevertheless, it is imperative that we allot significant importance to learning and incorporate it into our daily routine. One effective approach to surmount this challenge is to allocate specific hours each day to learning and ensure that we commit to it religiously, even if it only takes a couple of minutes. The importance of self-reflection. Active learning involves self-reflection as a fundamental component. By dedicating time to ponder on our newly acquired knowledge, we can enhance our comprehension and excel in applying that knowledge in various circumstances. This makes self-reflection a critical aspect of the learning process. Self-reflection is an introspective process that enables us to gain insight on our personal attributes, both positive and negative. By identifying such attributes, we can establish definitive objectives and track our advancement in relation to these objectives over time. Moreover, self-reflection can help us detect patterns in our thoughts and actions, allowing us to discard counterproductive behaviors and develop efficient learning habits. The dangers of relying on passive learning. While passive learning may appear to be a convenient option, it can have significant drawbacks. If you choose passive learning methods, you risk losing the chance to actively engage with the material and cultivate your critical thinking abilities. Consequently, you may gain only a superficial grasp of the subject and struggle to remember the acquired information over time. Passive learning, which involves relying on external sources such as lectures or textbooks, can create a dependence on these resources instead of developing your own abilities to seek out and evaluate information. This can limit your adaptability and hinder your creativity when faced with new situations or problems. To build lifelong learning skills and achieve long-term success, it is essential to adopt an active learning approach. By actively engaging with the information and materials, seeking out additional resources, and applying critical thinking and problem-solving skills, you can develop a more comprehensive understanding of the subject matter and become better equipped to solve problems creatively. The impact of active learning on long-term success. Active learning involves more than just trying to improve grades in the short term. By proactively interacting with the course material, students can develop critical thinking skills and improve their ability to retain key information. This approach produces benefits that extend well beyond the classroom, arming students with improved problem-solving abilities and enhancing their chances of success in later endeavors. In addition to its other benefits, active learning plays a crucial role in nurturing a growth mindset among individuals. With a growth mindset, people become more convinced that their abilities and skills can be honed and enhanced with persistent effort and commitment. This mindset proves instrumental in securing triumphs in the long run, empowering individuals to keep going, even in the midst of difficulties and obstacles. Real-world examples of active learning success. One of the most remarkable illustrations of successful active learning was demonstrated by a team of students from MIT. They managed to create a portable and cost-effective diagnostic device, capable of identifying malaria within just 5 minutes. The students employed an active learning methodology by working together in a collaborative manner and employing hands-on experimentation to improve their design. The device holds great promise for transforming the process of malaria diagnosis in impoverished countries where conventional diagnostic techniques are typically exorbitant and require a considerable amount of time. The Khan Academy is a striking instance of how active learning can result in success. This non-profit organization offers cost-free online education to millions of individuals worldwide. Salman Khan, the founder, adopted the active learning methodology to develop his educational videos, designed to cull complex concepts into easily digestible pieces, and urging viewers to pause and ponder on their newfound knowledge before proceeding. As a result of his well-designed active learning approach, over 10 million registered users have benefited from his platform. In addition, Khan Academy has forged partnerships with schools and universities across the globe. To sum up our discussion, we have delved into the hazards of passive learning and emphasized the significance of embracing an active learning approach. Although passive learning appears simple and convenient, it ultimately results in restricted knowledge retention and unfavorable long-term consequences. Conversely, when it comes to active learning, a considerable amount of effort and engagement is required. However, the rewards that come with it are equally noteworthy. It leads to a more profound comprehension of the subject matter, improved problem-solving abilities, and greater achievements across different areas in life. By assimilating active learning into your daily routine, you can take charge of your own learning experiences and unlock your full potential. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more value. Goodbye and see you in the next video.